Hello friends, welcome to Dots of Destiny. On the day of Mahashivratri, I am making this video, which is a very auspicious day. And today, this video is about the Mars transit in Aquarius. Now, Mars is entering its own nakshatra Dhanishta on the day of Shivratri. That is 15th Sunday, and it will remain in its nakshatra for quite some time. If I am not wrong, it is 7th of March, like that. And then it goes into Dhanishta from 7th of March to 20th or 22nd. It goes to Shatabisha. So Mars is entering the zone of two very powerful nakshatras back to back. One is Dhanishta, that it will enter on 15th of February to 7th of March. I'll give the dates over there if I'm not wrong. And the Shatabisha from 7th of March to I think 22nd of March. And then it will go to Purva Bhadrapada. This transit of Mars, now that it has begun in in this journey, it will become intense day by day. And obviously, due to mundane reasons, due to other factors, there are some worrisome scenario. But one thing to be understood in this transit is that Mars and Rahu is very powerful, both the planets, and Rahu is in Shatabisha Nakshatra now. Mars, after its exaltation, is entering with its power, but the issue is that till 26th of March, Mars is still combust. So it has the willfulness to do things, but it has to obey the sun. So this slight combustion of Mars, this eclipse that is happening, sun being there, all the scenario, makes Rahu a little more powerful than what Mars condition is. Why I'm saying this is that Aquarius is a very, Kumbh Rashi is the 11th zodiac of the Kalpurush, highly ambitious zodiac. Whichever is your 11th house, whatever a planet goes over there, whatever sign you have in your 11th house, it has taken the shape of Rahu. You can understand that. 11th house does not affect you immediately as you are young. This is such a house, the strongest of Upachya, the highest of desire house, which grows with time. And if you have a planet over there, then you will totally become that kind by the time you reach your 36-40. That is the age actually. So that's what I've seen about Aquarius, which is networking, which is your your varchasva, your dabdaba, where in the market, where you are when you go and stand somewhere. What is your prestige, how people take you, how much is your prominence over there. I was just finding the right word. Prominence is very important in the 11th house, what you can give. Because Kumbh Rashi, if you've seen, it is the water pouring out from the pot. So Rahu becomes very strong, and it is the co-ruler of Aquarius. You know what? Aquarius sign is exactly not Saturnic. And this I have seen for most of the Aquarius ascendants that I've come across. They are not like the Capricorn ascendants. Capricorn ascendants are the Saturn factor. Aquarius are more Rahuish. And this is my analysis of this sign. I have understood this sign by coming across many horoscopes, looking very closely, and because I'm a Leo ascendant, I have many Aquarius in my house itself. As you know, the karma brings you to the opposite person. I have Saturn as Atmakaraka. So obviously I will have most people in my life who will be Aquarius because it's my opposite sign, and also kind of Rahuish in their nature. They are worldly. Rahu is good and bad is a different scenario. Rahu is very worldly. Now here what happens when Mars and Rahu conjunction happens, now see, in a mundane level, lot of things can go wrong. Yes, I can make a fully negative video on this. It doesn't help to your mental understanding. So see, what happens is that we as an individual, what we get out of this transit and how the month of March pans out because of these two most prominent planets, and Aquarius being the epicenter of where the stage where these planets are performing. We as an individual, we have to understand what is going on. And one first thing that comes to my mind when Mars and Rahu conjuncts in Aquarius, it is bullish. It is the share market can suddenly take a jump, and it will. Later it plunges, that's a different, but it will. In this transit of Mars and Rahu together in Aquarius till 2nd of April, from 24th of February, as Mars enters into Aquarius. So market will become bullish, but it will plunge down also later as it fizzles out. That is how Rahu is, right? There is no base for it. There's certain thing about Aquarius which is very lofty. Why I'm talking about the sign is that once you know the sign and the 11th house, what Aquarius belongs to, we can easily, we can understand how Mars and Rahu are performing at this level. At an individual level, we will suddenly feel wherever Aquarius is in your zodiac, according to your lagna, you will feel very drawn towards that house, especially if it's your Kendra. So for Leo, for Aquarius, for Taurus, and like these signs are, and Scorpio, these signs are very, very the highest level. You will be affected good and bad regarding your dasha by this transit. Now all is not bad about Mars and Rahu, that is for sure, but the ambition can shoot to a different level. So please take that first into consideration to whatever you are jumping, whether it will give a long lasting thing, whether you have done the work to go for a long lasting thing, or it will just fizzle out, because Rahu is a shadow planet. So understanding shadow planets is very important, that Rahu gives ideas but without a body. And that is why Rahu feels a little difficult in Capricorn and very nice in Aquarius. Very, very Rahu is comfortable. Now Rahu, yes, Rahu works like Saturn, but there is a huge world of difference between the working of these two planets. They are malefics. They make you, grin and hustle hard for things, but Saturn is painstakingly difficult. Why? Saturn makes you do every bit of the thing, and once you build up that, I have done my job. Results will be coming. You do not worry about that. I have done it for so many years now. Result is bound to happen. That is the confidence that Saturn gives you after long years of work towards that. Rahu is sudden plan. Lot of things that your head has, and it is out of the box, and it is very important for society. Innovations and all these things, whether making money, whether any innovative thing, bringing something new to the society, lot of things. Rahu is very important. I'm not denying that. But Rahu has no base. It is like a pack of cards, and any day it may fall. Very sadly, that is what is happening in the IT industry also. We never knew, though this topic is, but it is part of Aquarius and Rahu topic actually. We never knew that India as a country did not make any product. All the products that the IT people were working, the professionals, are from the foreign lands. So we were just giving service. and Rahu's face changes. It's a demon. So that IT thing, information technology and computer, is now slowly going into AI. Whether one believes it or not, this will happen in the next 10 years. It is a must to happen. And then the thing that was there becomes redundant. Now where you go with the all, the suddenly a person is losing job at 40, 45, 36, 30. People are coming out with certificates at this point of time with computer engineering, do not know where to do and what to go for. So this is Rahu. It is needed. It is the essential evil, but the problem is it will change its shape. That's why at this point of time, where the point comes to, you have to be very pragmatic over what you're putting your energy into, because the energy will go there where Aquarius is. Whether it's yourself, whether it's your real estate thing, whether it's your marriage, whether it's your profession, whether it's your learning, whether it's your children, whether it's a love matter or a highest of desire fulfillment for Aries ascendant, that can happen at this point of time. So that's why this is a very important month of March, because whatever you do in the month of March as an individual level, I'm not talking about the mundane level. Mundane level can see a lot of disruptions, but at an individual level, if you are going for a risk, which appetite of the risk will be so high at this point of time, and if you're starting something, understand the Mars will then go into Pisces, and over there Saturn is waiting. So that is very important to understand. And March month will see Sun in both Aquarius and Pisces, and also Mars Rahu conjunction. Then Mercury will be retrograde, and it will make you think again small things about whatever decision if you have taken, then rethink in. And last but not the least, Venus is moving to Pisces to meet Saturn over there. That requires a different video. So a lot of hangama in the month of March. So let us see how every ascendant does for this kind of month that we are heading towards. But understand Dhanishta, Shatabisha, this will be the main focus. And if you have prominent planets, natal planets, you will be hit hard by the transit. Means you can take sudden, very drastic and important steps, and sudden erratic behavior. Suddenness, this is very important. Rashness in your behavior, sudden erotic things happening in your life, all these are part of parcel of Mars and Rahu. Because Capricorn is an earthy sign, Rahu cannot perform that. As Rahu goes into Capricorn later part of the year, you will understand the change of the structure of Rahu. But here, though it's a fixed, it's an airy sign, and it's a highest of desire sign. Here Rahu is free will. And it knows, it can go from there to, it can go from sway from north to south, your ideas, your dimensions of understanding. And Mars is like, it puts like a bull, Mars sometimes becomes a little bullish on things and you just go towards it. So that is at an individual level, that needs to be understood where our energy is going to. So let us see how this happens for every ascendant. Yeah, jump into the timestamp. For the Aries ascendant, this conjunction of your Lagna Lord with Rahu is happening in the 11th house. So obviously you will take different steps at this point of time. Unemployment can lead to employment, money flow can happen, one of your strongest desire can come to be fulfillment at this point of time. This is a good transit. I have always seen Mars Rahu conjunction in the 11th house. The 11th house is such a strong Upachya house, it has the capacity to hold this bombastic arrangement. So here, the main thing is that Rahu will give you groups which can be a little doubtful at certain points of time, and I feel you should keep a doubt whenever you are dealing with Rahu and Rahuish kind of groups or networkings or new people, foreign people that you have not come across till now. You may be coming across now because your Lagna Lord has now conjunct with Rahu. Now as Mars enters Dhanishta, it is a good transit actually. It is materialistically, it should be good. And if you are running a little bit of good dasha also, it will fructify its result. It will give its result to you. And some plans which you may have been concocting for a long time. As the Lagna Lord comes there, suddenly it takes off. Be aware, because this is just not the end of it. Jupiter is aspecting, giving you the vision. Because suddenly things can blow to a large scale, that kind of a thing. The transit is good. Sometimes what happens is that Mars, as your Lagna Lord goes, it's kind of my way or the highway kind of thing. So do not get into that. Because Rahu is tricky and Mars is no tricks. So you have to be a little, you have to have some backup plan, some thoughts in your mind. If something go wrong, then what do I do? Because then Mars goes into meeting with Saturn and then comes on to your Lagna from 11th of May, and Mars will have a big transit again in Cancer and Leo the later part of the year in 2027 early. So plan your things well. That is very important. Jupiter will enter your 4th house from Mars from this March month. The Mars that you will see, the Lagna Lord that you will see, is now in a speeded of motion because it wants to reach the Lagna, and its 4th aspect will be on the 2nd house, which is good. See, Mars aspect in Leo, the 7th aspect is a little bit volatile. So 5th area, whatever it is, whether it is your investments, whether it is your share market, whether it is your progeny, whether it's your love affairs, whether it's your name and fame, whatever, it can sudden come, sudden go. Because see, Mars is not aspecting a enemy sign. Leo is a friendly sign for Mars, but the problem is Ketu is there. So I am more afraid of Ketu Mars than Rahu Mars. Rahu Mars, if you have the understanding, you can check the thing and you can not try to not make a mistake. Ketu Mars is bang on, just like that, cutting, bang on. So Aries people, this is a very good transit, no doubt about that. But the 8th aspect is on the 6th house, which is a Mercury house, Virgo. Take care of your health also and do not be in a rush. I feel this month of March will be productive for you. So take care. Taurus ascendant, Taurus people, this is happening in your 10th house, Rahu Mars. Now 10th house with the 7th Lord and the 12th Lord coming into the 7th house. Now see, Mars, one thing of good and bad about Mars is that for you it is not a very good planet, as you call Marak, whatever it is. But it is not exactly the planet that you want in the 10th house. But Mars here is Digbala. So when it's a directional strength of Mars is good. Yes, Mars is slightly combust. So your partnerships can see a big problem at this point of time. You may have a difference of opinion with the boss. The father or the father's status or health can have some issues. These things can happen, and especially because Mars is aspecting the Lagna, and in the month of March your Lagna Lord Venus is in the 11th house. So see, for Taurus people, if you are running a better to good dasha, then the things is not very bad, I'll say. Other than that, you can suddenly become angry due to Mars aspect on the Lagna, and Mars aspecting this Ketu in your 4th house can bring some disruptions at the home front. Maybe a change of property, maybe a change of plans. Suddenly you want to do a Graha Pravesh, it didn't happen, it suddenly gets disrupted. Some kind of real estate, home, mother's health, father's health, these things can be an issue. And at the work front, you have to be very, there can be sudden foreign elements in your work and you have to deal with them. You can have to go for a journey, that can happen, or sudden projects getting delayed or stalled because it's a 12th Lord, or partnership that you're doing is not giving you enough anymore. And these disruptions you may feel till Mars is in Aquarius, and because it is now, in a combusted state till more or less towards the end of the March month. Once Mars moves into the 11th house, I'll not say it is great, because it is meeting Saturn over there. Slowly clarity will come on things for you. But in the month of March, your gains can be good, because Venus Saturn is in the 11th house, and that can be good actually. 10th house, I'm not telling it is everything is bad, but you should be very cautious in dealing with. And if you have natal planets in your Dhanishta and Shatabisha Nakshatra in the 10th house, then definitely this can culminate into a major change, because the eclipse will also happen on the 17th. So this is the scenario. The aspects of Mars are not very good on the Lagna, 4th house and 5th house. All these aspects are not really wanted. So your health, your temper, your mother's health, your real estate, property, home front and all these, and also your progeny or love affairs in the 5th house, it can go for a sudden, there can be suddenness when Mars is aspecting with the 8th aspect. 8th aspect of Mars is not very good, right? We know that. So that's the thing. Keep care of that. Lagna Lord is well placed with the Bhagya Lord. The first Lord and the 9th Lord in the 11th in the month of March. That is good. Otherwise, 10th house needs a little bit of diligent, handling, and the process should be elaborate. Nothing should be quick spaced, though the energy is like that. So take care, Taurus, for that. Gemini ascendant. Gemini, your 9th house is having this conjunction of Mars and Rahu. Now, 9th house, I personally, if you tell me, I do not like Rahu in the 9th house at all. Neither in the natal chart nor in transits. But now again, everything has its goodness also a little bit. When I see Rahu transit in the 9th house, it is sometimes path breaking if you are going for higher studies. Now Mars is your 6th Lord and the 11th Lord. Now 11th Lord with Rahu in its own house in Aquarius can give some desire fulfillment towards foreign journeys, long distance journeys with the boss, with the father, but Mars being the 6th Lord, it can bring in sudden disruptions and sudden friction also, and that can blow out of proportion. Also, Ketu being in the 3rd house and Mars is aspecting the Leo 3rd house, your decisions can be very sudden, and that is not wanted. Because see, when Ketu is already there, again I do not like Ketu in the 3rd house, because see, you have to just go with the Kalpurush Kundli. Whenever you see Ketu in the 3rd house, it is Gemini house. That is not for Ketu, it is for Rahu's place. And when you see 9th house is Sagittarius house. This is for Ketu. Ketu goes best with Jupiter, Jupiterian sign, Sagittarius, Pisces. That's it. That is how you come to a conclusion that whatever you are doing, what steps you are taking, and how you 9th house Rahu and Mars can make you very ambitious, because that is how the 9th house is optimism. It gives sudden optimism. Now, but the thing is that if you are going for a PR or a foreign distance journey or learning or long distance, this can see, you have to be very careful, or it may not see the day of the light immediately. There can be sudden break journeys, there can be sudden disruptions at this point of time, and you are like, especially when Mars and Rahu conjunction happens in Shatabhisha, though it is because Mars brings in impediments. It's your 6th Lord. Your Bhagya Dasha is not becoming very smooth with the entry of Mars over there, but the desires are very high because it's the 11th Lord also. And obviously Mars is aspecting its like the 11th house, that it is aspecting the house of Taurus, then the 3rd house, and then the 4th house. So that is all these aspects of Mars in the 11th house. If you're having a Mars Mahadasha, Dasha, Pratyanta, especially Pratyanta Dasha should be looked into when we are talking of a particular month or a particular transit. So in your Pratyanta, if anytime Mars is coinciding, then you can have sleepless nights. If you're going for a distance journey, you can have problems over there. All these things can happen. So And now see, one, if you think that I'm talking negative about the things, understand that Lagna Lord is also involved over here. Mercury is along with this Mars and Rahu. Now, how much Mercury is a friend of Rahu? Yes, friend, okay, friend, but how is that friend? That is also important. No, Mercury gets influenced very fast. That one Gemini ascendant has to understand. The desires of Gemini ascendants are third house desires, daily desires. Rahu every day puts some desires into the brain. That is how this ascendant works. If you have gotten certain ascendant, there must be a reason for that. And then Rahu puts these ideas, Mars puts a fire on that, and Mercury goes retrograde in this process also. Then that means you are contemplating, you are redoing certain things in this month of March. So overall, I cannot say it is a great thing happening. I mean, see, you go to any kind of classical text, you will see Mars is like a warrior in the ninth house. It is fighting for the dharma. Mercury does not believe in any dharma. Mercury doesn't know what is happening in the ninth house, because its house is opposite, Gemini. Sagittarius is not the house of Mercury. Ninth house is Sagittarius energy. And Rahu on top of that gets debilitated in the ninth house. Sagittarius Rahu is a debilitated Rahu, because Gemini Rahu gets exalted and it's a nice Rahu, intellectual. So these three planets creates the actual chaos in the ninth house, actually. And because Mars is, it's your Trishadaya Lord, right? It's not a great planet for you. So be very careful at this point of time for the Gemini ascendants, and you have to, whatever steps, whichever direction, whether it's professional, whether it's learning, whether it's your father, whether it's a distance journey, whether it's shifting place, whether going out somewhere, whether going to foreign countries, or whatever it is, all the decisions should be again and again rethought, then only put into action. So take care about it. It's not a great transit actually. So you have to brace yourself. If the dasha is good, you will sail through. You'll have the grace, because Jupiter is on the Lagna, and by that time Jupiter will go direct actually. So your Kendra, one of the Kendra lords, is getting direct on the Lagna by 11th of March. So Jupiter is aspecting this little bit. If you contemplate, you'll be able to get through, and major disruptions can be avoided at this point of time. Cancer ascendants, Cancer, this conjunction is happening in the 8th house of Mars and Rahu. Now, I have personally seen when Mars and Rahu happens in the 8th house, two things mainly happen. One is unnecessary wealth gets drained out from the bank. And which is because Ketu is already in the 2nd house, giving you that pain. And then now Mars is aspecting Leo, because see, it is already, Leo is a fiery sign, Ketu is heated up planet, and then Mars again a hot planet. So what will happen? The things is vibrating even more. The 2nd house affairs, your speech, how you speak with your family, how you interact, all these are into a problematic area. Second most important thing is that unnecessary incidents will come out of the blue. Unnecessary incidents, 8th house, Mars and Rahu, and you will be forced to react. Even may it is not your karma. I mean, indirectly you're getting affected. This is a big prominence with Mars and Rahu in the 8th house. Suddenly something pops out, and now you have to be in the rescue of it. Now see, when Rahu Ketu, we are talking about an axis. What is the job of Rahu Ketu? In this lifetime, the nodes are always very important. One node brings in the karma, and Rahu makes you perform the karma, right? One is the back, whatever you have done, Ketu will bring certain unfinished things through eclipses or whatever, and Rahu will make you do it in this lifetime. Now, how you do it, that is the matter. Mars is Yoga Karak for you, but Yoga Karak planet also in the 8th house we do not want, especially a ferocious, such a malefic Mars, Rahu, Mercury. Three planets are, in the 8th house we do not, though Mercury is your 12th lord, Mars is your 5th lord, sudden disruption studies, you are unable to concentrate, your money, if it is going out suddenly, there's expenses, high expenses, then Your love affairs can take a very bad turn at this moment of time. Your progeny may not listen to you, or if he or she or you yourself are going into foreign lands, which is a good possibility, then there also you must be very careful in dealing with people. Whom are you dealing? What is the interaction you're doing? What is the kind of people you're coming across? What is the security? All these things. Driving must be cautious. Your language should be taken care of. Mars will be aspecting the 11th house. It can give gains. Again, I'm saying this also. Mars Rahu in the 8th house, especially if you are having any business or something, it can bring gains also. But do not go overboard with the gains. Suppose a market or an investment suddenly plunges high, suddenly goes up. It may plunge also. Be prepared for that. Both the ways it happens. 8th house, uncertainty, sudden karmas coming in front of you. And then Mars is aspecting second, I told you, your speech, your wealth, your family people. It can see a little bit friction over there, or sudden hot environment, which is not very, once you say something, it's not very forgiving at that point of time. And the third aspect is on the eighth aspect is on the third house in Virgo. Now, eighth aspect of Mars is itself lethal. So decisions, your siblings, your journeys and all these things should be very not taken casually. Eighth house, you have to be prepared. If the suddenness of the house, if anything happens, if any situations happens around you, maybe you're not the perpetrator of the crime, but you get involved in it and you have to go through it. That is how eighth house is. Maybe it's the always we are not creating those things. It is just coming because Rahu is there. It will create unnecessary fear also. So these things can happen for the Cancer people, and you have to be cautious the month of March, no doubt, because see, again there will be a lunar eclipse, solar eclipse in February, then lunar eclipse. Your Lagna Lord is always involved, and waxing and waning it continues. So I feel and then Mars goes on to dealing with Saturn in Pisces. So whatever decisions, whatever steps you take in this 8th house, which is unknown, which is dark, Sun is lighting up for some time, but then Sun goes in again friction with Saturn from the 15th of March onwards to 15th of April. So this time needs patience. Everything will be wrong? No, not at all. You can have great gains also. You can gain money from investment also. You can gain from foreign lands. You can go to foreign lands. You can have a trip. You can have a business trip. All these things can happen. But at the same time, you must always on the flip side think what can go wrong. That is the process. Leo ascendants, the Aquarius with Mars Rahu falls in your 7th house. Here everything is about partnership. Now see, you are not in the spotlight. One thing, we all as Leo ascendants, we want to be in the spotlight, but we are not, because Ketu is that shadow element which cuts you off from the things. Now if your partner at this point of time, if you're eligible for marriage, you're going in for marriage, you have some insecurities, you do not know whether you're doing the right thing or not. This time, I think, because Jupiter is in the 11th house, why I'm talking about marriage is because of that many Leo people are going for marriage, because Jupiter in the 11th house gives marriage, or your love affairs or whatever. The relationship front is not looking great at all, and better if you are going for a marriage to avoid at this point of time if you can. If you cannot, then you have to be you have to put ice on your head, and you have to tell yourself that this is not my time. I am not in the limelight. This is my partner's time. So partner's time means what? The focus is on the 7th house, the people opposite to you. Any new ventures, if you're starting at this moment of time, you have to be very careful with what you're doing, how you're doing. The paperwork, Mercury will go retrograde. Your wealth is also involved in that, and Mercury is in general paperwork. So if you are planning for foreign destination business or business coming from foreign lands, it can be helpful. Mars is aspecting the Lagna. Now this is Yoga Karak for you. Daily wages, house is 7th house. Money can flow in, but you will be extremely hot-headed at this point. A small spike can generate any, sudden burst of anger. Ketu is already there. You are feeling irritated. And Mars is again aspecting this Ketu. And as if, I mean, I don't know what, but this Mars is always coming on to Ketu, and now it goes, though the transit of Mars from here onwards, after that 8th Mars, then it is really good for you. Really good. It reaches Lagna to Leo, but just for the information, Mars will have a long stay in Leo. Very long, from the month of November 2026 to April 2027. So that's not April, June, in between it will come into Cancer for 2 months, but it's a very long transit of Mars, again a very uncanny long transit of Mars, because your ascendant will be very much affected. One thing will be good, Ketu will subside by December into Cancer, but Mars has a huge journey in Leo, November 2026 to June 2027. Again a very uncanny transit of Mars. So why I'm saying this is that to make you understand that whatever decisions, business related, job related, whatever you are doing now, it will have the repercussions, and from 7th house to 8th house, 9th house transit is good, 10th is good, 11th good, 12th, and then coming on the Lagna and staying for so long. So all the decisions regarding marriage, regarding partnership, regarding change of thing, daily wages, your health, very important, your partner's health. Do not go into bickering moments. If a relation is come to an end of dissolving, it will dissolve. You have to let it go. But if you have the will and wish to continue, do not go for any kind of discussions at this point of time. It will not work out. It's unnecessary. So the time, what is the demand of the time? Succumb to that. It will give you the understanding. This is why transit videos are important, and I had been telling this for a long time, that February, March, April is a very tight 3 months we'll have. It's not easy. It is not easy at all. Once Mars reaches Aries, because it is your most Yoga-karak planet, that's why only from then you will have certain relief in your life. These 3 months are havoc. It can go anyway, believe me. Even if, I mean, we are, as an astrologist, we are predicting. Even I myself, every day I look into the Panchang, and then I kind of know how to mitigate my day. And what lies ahead, we are not God. We can just navigate the thing through astrology. It's a Jyoti. So that's the thing. Anyway, this is how the month will pan out. Not a great news for you, but then okay, Jupiter will go direct in the month of Mars. Certain things will improve. It will get going. It is better than Mars in Capricorn. Why I say that? Because Mars in Capricorn, again, I've seen Yoga-karak planet, 9th house Lord should not go into the 6th house. Struggle with Bhagya. We do not need that, exalted or whatever. After all, the 9th Lord goes into the 6th at this point of time. Now when it comes to the 7th house, even you can benefit from your spouse. That can also, a spouse can benefit from you. That's why the main topic is that you are not the limelight. Your 7th house is. So deal with it. Dealing is very important, Leo. I mean, how much I say, do not be hot-headed. And it happens, I know. It's always not easy to keep calm. But best of luck for that. Virgo ascendants. Virgo, this combination of Mars Rahu is happening in the 6th house. Mars is your 8th lord coming into the 6th house, and it is your 3rd lord. Now see, efforts are there, but certain enemies can also, because 8th lord coming into the forefront in the 6th can bring in certain enemies. Your efforts can be very misguided, because again 3rd lord when comes with Rahu, then it's a problem. That is an issue actually at this point of time. So be careful with your health, with your court cases. If you're going through any kind of issues with unnecessary fights, should be avoided if you can avoid it. Then otherwise, Rahu again blows it out of proportion. And 8th lord, Mars is not your favorite planet, and Mercury is involved in here, because Virgo has a characteristics of taking it to the end, and they do not leave it. They cannot leave it, because Mercury means it will keep on doing the thing. You've seen small kids, how they keep on doing the thing unless they feel satisfied. They're playing with mud, they're playing with sand, they're doing. That is Mercury. It is constantly nitpicking and doing the things. But understand here, you're overpowered by a combusted Mars, the sun is there, and then Rahu is also there. Rahu sometimes become a friend for you, which is not needed, Really, I'm saying this, but Mercury loves Rahu so much. Venus and Mercury, sometimes I feel we do not need that combination with Rahu Venus or Rahu Mercury. Better off Mercury is with Sun, its guidance is good, and Venus is like alone, or whatever. With Saturn it is better, I think, but with Rahu it is disruptive. And in the 6th house, unnecessary politics. Even if you have a problem with your health, the doctor may not find it out what is exactly the problem. That is how Rahu Ketu works. Ketu gives less of problems in the 6th house, but Rahu exaggerates the problem. Yes, you may have that kind of, if you have a natal Rahu there, as the Rahu is in Aquarius now, you may have the potential of going through different politics and solving it and getting better out of it, all these things. But sometimes I feel it's too much unnecessary. I do not like too much Rahu in the 6th house. They get too much loans also. Then they do not know what to do with that. It's very not focused energy actually. 3rd house Rahu is better. 11th house Rahu is better. In Upachya houses, 6th and 10th house, I do not like Rahu too much in my understanding and seeing the horoscopes, because it is little shadowy and gives a lot of other tensions around in that area. Anyway, so relation with your maternal uncles and aunts, any court cases can see issue at this point of time. Your health can see issue, but if you are diligently following it, it can be rectified also at the same point of time. If you are looking for job related things, that can also fructify at this moment, but there can be sudden issues with paperwork regarding you or any other thing, as Mercury will go retrograde also in the month of March. So that you have to be careful. Relationship wise, because Venus is coming into Saturn conjunction in the 7th house. If you are going for a marriage, it is good, because Saturn is the 5th lord and Venus is a good planet for you. You can go for a marriage, but see that the dasha should be very favorable to you, because unnecessary Mars the Mars and Rahu conjunction in the month of March is seeing lot of troubles in the 6th area. So that is the focus. But yes, you have Saturn and Venus in the 7th house, which is also good actually, aspecting the Lagna. So be slow, be calm, and little bit you have to perform in a pragmatic way at this point of time. I will say in that way. So yeah, take it. The Libra ascendants, the 5th house will have Mars and Rahu conjunction in Aquarius, and your Lagna Lord Venus is in the 6th house with Saturn. Now see here, 5th house deals with all the simple, because it is a Purva Punya house. It's a nice house. I do not prefer Mars and Rahu both in this house. Mercury will also be there at this point of time, because your 9th lord joins over here with Mars, the 7th lord, and because see, what the investments, first and foremost thing is that your name fame. 5th house I see for name fame, progeny, how they do. It can be quite a problem at this point of time. Yes, you can, if you are asking for a promotion, suppose it is given to you also, suppose if it is given to you, then also it can bring sudden issues with Venus being in Saturn in the 6th house, sudden impediments, sudden changes that is not very easy to go through. You can feel very obsessed regarding the things of the 5th house, whether it's your love affairs, whether it is your progeny, whether it is your investments or your name fame simply. Whenever I see the best of houses, suppose Lagna, fifth house, ninth house, these houses which are great actually for Jupiter, Venus, great planets. I do not want a Rahu influence over there, neither Mars, which is very hot-headed planet. These are good for Upachya houses, and fifth house is no Upachya house. It's a very creative house. Yes, creatively, if you want to do something, you may go ahead. You can get new ideas. That is there. But up to that idea, the things are good. Implementation of idea always requires Saturn, which is in your sixth house and which tells you to work hard with the whole month of March with Venus over there. Look into your health. You can feel quite taken up by this transit, which is not an easy one in your fifth house, loaded with so many planets, and mostly malefic planets actually. So this is the second lord also for you. Mars is the second lord. So money through speculations, you may get, you may lose, depending on the dasha. Some kind of a disagreement with your progeny can happen. Progeny can take into a different course that you were not thinking regarding education. A little bit different than what we see in the regular ways. Or the progeny itself can take in certain ideas which are not very, it is out of the box. Or your love matters can fail brutally. These things the fifth house can bring for you. The Lagna Lord is in the sixth house, though looks exalted. Exalted Venus is not easy. It is not easy. It's a myth again, exalted planet. We do not want an exalted Venus in the sixth house, because after all, first I take the house, then I take the sign. Whenever Venus-Saturn combination happens in the sixth house, you take that Venus as debilitated, because the house is more important. Always the house, the Kalpurush Kundli, the house is more important. Venus sixth house will always have a flavor of Virgo. It is not Pisces sign, the sixth house. Now you can get certain opportunities over there, but the opportunities you have to hustle hard. It is not easy to have fifth house, that kind of planets with the Bhagya Lord going into ninth house, and it is going retrograde, and lot of things are happening in the fifth house with Saturn Venus in the sixth house. It's not easy. Hope you take care of your health, and let this, I have always told that these 3 months, February, March, April, is no easy month. It is not easy. So whatever decisions you are taking, fifth house related investment matters, your whatever future, because fifth house is the future also, future of you, future of progeny. It can see a sudden breakthrough. Rahu gives all these things. There is no doubt that. But whether, if it is in a, whatever Rahu, my problem with Rahu is that why I'm so skeptical about Rahu is that if Rahu do not have solid base, it can bring a pack of cards in the air, and which is destined to fall one day. So that's why this kind of transits, when I see it, can go both ways. If the dasha is good, you will act prudently. If the dasha is also that kind Rahu-ish type, you can make major mistakes also. So take care, Libra people. Scorpio, the fourth house is loaded with unnecessary planets, which is not suitable for the fourth house. Neither Mercury nor Mars nor Rahu, they perform great in the fourth house. Fourth house is the Cancer house, right, originally, and that is how we see the fourth house, the soft place. Here all the wrong planets have come in. Sun is also there, 10th lord. And Sun, Mars, fourth house, actually it's a Dikshunya position for both the planet. Rahu plays tricks. Unnecessarily it creates chaotic situations at the home front. And Mercury is a catalyst to it, because it is your 8th lord. Now here, real estate issues, your household issues, your issues with the mother's health, your own understanding and your own state of mind, I'll not say the heart, because fourth house is the heart, the emotion that we have. All this goes for a toss. It can. Again, the same thing I have seen if with such a thing also, because recently I went through a Scorpio person's horoscope, the dasha was so nice, and he is going through all the phases in such a prudent way. So how you look at it, if the dasha supports, see what happens, transit is just the it is a switch. The light is put on or put off, the delivery boy or the switch. Now dasha is most important, because that is how you perform the thing. The planet works through you, and if the dasha is good, and if you are taking the guidance of the Almighty, and you are spiritually a certain way uplifted, you will go through the right path. And these kind of transits, it may bring in some karma, because Rahu Ketu are the nodes to bring in karma. From the 10th house, Ketu brings something and propels it to the 4th house for Rahu to deal with. You will deal with it in a very pragmatic way, in a very diligent way, and you'll go through it. Nothing much happens. So that is why only seeing the transit and predicting it is good and bad is so difficult. Yes, these kind of transits, they can hamper the family environment. It can make you go from pillar to post, not understanding what to do. Suppose you are selling a house, suppose you're buying a thing, and you have to check everything, because Mercury is also there, your 8th lord, your 11th lord, desire lord with Rahu. All the focus is on the 4th house now. So whatever you're doing comes under scanner, and the Lagna Lord is also there. Do not flare up things unnecessarily at your end. Understand, this is a transit which will fizzle out in 1 month. Why to not have a prudent approach? Obviously, these 3 months I have been telling for a long time, February, March, April, especially for Mars, most probably for all, but Aries and Scorpio, it's their Lagna Lord. For Leo, Cancer is the Yoga Karak. But again, Virgo and Gemini, it's a bad planet. So see, so many signs are suffering already. So these 3 months are very low. I do it in that way. This is how I see Jyotish. That when things are in this way, it is getting affected. The mundane level, lot of things can happen, which can also affect you in a personal level. So that's why you have to keep a very strong boundaries to the things that you allow to be absorbed and which you leave out. So that is very important. And when things are not, Atichari, Jupiter will go direct in your 8th house, but let it come to the 9th house. Any major decision as of now, I do not think Scorpio must take, unless it is very important to be taken. Mars aspect will be on the 7th house, creating again problem, because Venus will be with Saturn. The 7th lord will be with Saturn in the month of March. Mars is aspecting 10th house. Your boss can be an issue. Your father can be an issue. Your workplace can be an issue. You can feel frustrated about it. But what to do? You have to, certain things you cannot take decisions so fast. You have to let the time pass. That is as Jyotish, right? Time is Saturn, and how the time builds itself, if you understand that, listening to videos of astrology and going through the panchang, which day what to do and what not to do, that would be great. Actually, that is the best thing. So that is why for Scorpio people, have some patience. This is a patience testing time. It is easier said than done, but definitely this has to be said every time, so that we do not unnecessarily make the mistakes, knowing that the time is not very great for us. Take care, please. For Sagittarius, the 3rd house will see the accumulation of lot of planets. Now 3rd house means fast action. Obviously, Mars is your Yoga Karak planet. It is the 5th lord and the 12th lord, and Rahu is there. Change of place, city, house, this is the first prominent thing. Short distance journey, long distance journey, taking up new ideas, going for it. If you had been thinking for long, you will work it out now. This is a good, I know many people having Mars and natal, Mars and Rahu in the 3rd house. It is unless and until you drive unnecessarily fast and you verbally communicate worse things, it's not a bad combination. Uh, but one thing is that understand Ketu is in Leo in the ninth house, and all these planets are aspecting Leo. So, with the father, with the boss, things can suddenly take a turn. These kind of transits, wherever it is happening, they are triggers, and then how we react to that is very important. So, nonetheless, the transit is not bad, but now your dasha, how you react with it, you suddenly become too much confident. That can also be a thing. That is how Rahu acts, it boosts you with so much confidence. You do unnecessary things like a foolish person, and then Rahu falls like a pack of cards crumbling down, and then you do not know Rahu is bad. Yeah, the characteristics of the planet was like that. Why to blame the planet? Yeah. First is knowing, if you are a little bit interested in this subject, then knowing the houses and little bit understanding the planets as your daily life, it can make it simpler. So why I'm giving this caution? Because it is a over the board kind of a transit, too much enthusiasm, too much vigor on your part. Shifts can definitely happen, which is not bad. You will be forced to shift, and I think you like the shift also. Change of place, city, real estate, sailing, going for another thing, and all these things, because later Mars will enter into Pisces also with Saturn. Getting foreign settlements and all these things will happen within these kind of transits. So transit right is good, but take care of your temper, your communication. Too much assurance, too much getting yes, I know what I'm doing overboard is not good in this kind of scenario. So take care about that. Capricorn ascendants, it is the second house of Mars Rahu in Aquarius, which with your Bhagya Lord Mercury also being there. So here and the 10th Lord is with Saturn in Pisces. The whole of March month looks like this. See, money can come, money can go also. Because when I see the 11th Lord in the second house with Rahu, money can come. But the Jupiter is in the 6th house, and Jupiter is your 12th Lord and the 3rd Lord, aspecting this transit in the 2nd house. Sudden money breaks can also happen. And that is how Rahu and Mars works, in a very sudden manner here, blowing things out of proportion. You may totally have a new kind of family environment. Suppose you shift base, or your family can go for an expansion, new people in your family. Yeah, all these things, money should be invested very, very carefully. If you, better not to do, if at all required. Then be very careful with the money that you are earning and where you are spending. That is very important, because your Lagna Lord is in the sign of expenditure, Pisces. Then if you have problem with your family members, this is not the time to react. If you want to break something, you react, no problem with that. But if you want to restore it, then you have to be very patient at this point of time. And I know Capricorn ascendants have patience. I do not doubt that. I've seen that. They have patience. Unless there is a Mars on the Lagna and they're heading to do something which is always they are on the go to do, scale the hill. So that is the thing. Be careful in these matters. Money can come from foreign lands. Money can increase also. Maybe you had made some investments before, it is panning out in this way now. That can also happen. If the dasha is good, lot of good things can happen. But if the dasha is bad, everything depends on the dasha. Transits just fizzle out. They give the effect and they go. They move into the next sign. Because it is a switch, right? The light will be on or the light will be going off. The transit will determine ultimately that. If you have made wrong investment, it will go to haywire. If you have made good things, it will come to your plate. If you had been doing good with your family members, things will be okay. It cannot, in a one transit, cannot break things. But yes, if it was in the breaking process, it will break. That is also for sure, because all the planets are aspecting the 8th house also. That way a transit and dasha has to be synchronized with each other and see how parallelly they work. So take care of your health also, because second house, so many planets and aspecting the 8th house, Jupiter in the 6th house, I do not find these kind of things very good for health. So stay calm, check your health if it is required. Go visit a doctor if it feels unnecessary also. So take care, Capricorn ascendants. Aquarius, this whole thing is happening on your lagna. It is quite bombastic, I must say. You can feel very insecure first and foremost at this point of time. How much you feel that the fifth lord Mercury and Rahu is my co-lord, your ambitions will be suddenly high. You will be very fickle at this point of time, because Mars also joins over here in a very volatile condition, and Mercury and Rahu, they concoct with each other. I do not like this combination, if you ask me. Yes, these people are intellectual, but it goes waste towards it. The Saturn is good, then it's good. Otherwise, Rahu Mercury fizzles out. They have all the brain, nothing on the plate. So that is a problem with this kind of arrangement. Now Mars coming on the lagna with Sun. See, everything is on the lagna. Now it's a make or break situation. Do not please listen to people too much at this point of time. They can only exaggerate your problem, because you take the steps according to them, the problems will keep on exaggerating. You will need in your workplace, because Mars on the lagna will give you a lot of anger issues with Rahu being there, and Mercury constantly picking on that, because Mercury will be till the 11th of April over here only with retrograde and direct. So investments, your own health, your understanding, your decisions, your profession, it is you. Everything is about you. Certain things will definitely change in this 1 month time. There's no doubt about that. Now, whether it's a make or break thing, your dasha will say. How you take the judgment, how you go ahead, whether you force yourself. Suppose, see, Mars and Rahu, it gives you the gusto to move forward. Now you move forward in the right direction. Who can stop you? Definitely you'll get good results, but you move in the wrong direction, or you sit down without frustration and thinking too much in your head. Who will help you? So that's why I said dasha is the main thing. Transits can only make or break the thing according to the dasha. What dasha is telling, like dasha is the father, and this is like a disciple, who is listening, or, the transit. So that's why it can go anyway, but yes, because most people are too much in that zone of going into sudden depression, overthinking, do not know what to do, frustrated, most probably they do the wrong things, and that's why the dasha also fizzles out in the way which gives to bad to worst result. So take care of these. It is not an easy time, no doubt. I'm not putting out that it's a great easy time for you and you are making things difficult. No, knowing it is a difficult time, you have to be even more prudent about the approach. Why not? That is why we see, those who do not know what lies or what is coming in the future, cannot blame them. People do not believe Jyotish. They half believe. They believe the good, not the bad. We cannot say about them. But if you are a staunch believer, you know that yes, this will happen if I do this. Then take the right guidance, make yourself believe and do the right things. At least even the bad things will become less worse in such condition. But yes, this can lead to some partnership issues 101%, because Sun is also on the lagna at this point of time with Mars. And the 7th lord, wherever Rahu Ketu axis sits in the transit mode or in the natal, Ketu will bring past life issues. Rahu will have to solve it with its, that is the karma that we are dealing. The nodes, they bring the karma and the solving has to be done. So that is how it goes. That's why eclipses are very, very impactful. They bring in certain karmas, not unfinished karmas from previous lifetime, and now you have to deal with it. You have to go through it. Major disruptions, breakthroughs can happen. Good. If relationship has to go, it has to go. You have to go on for a new you. That is how a solar eclipse acts actually in the wherever the nodes are. Now here it is on you. You have to dissolve it and move ahead. So take care. Very important time for you, Aquarius. Very important. Yeah. Take care of your health also. Okay. Pisces ascendant. The 12th house, see the accumulation of so many planets. Rahu and Mars in the 12th house with Mercury. Now see, Mercury, I mean Jupiter is still not direct. There can be certain issues which you are thinking if you are in your native land, and which may let you even more confused. Sun entering into that sixth lord into the 12th house can give change of employment, taking you towards foreign lands. Sudden issues in the foreign land can creep up. You may be isolated at some place of the world. You can feel very anxious at this moment of time. Your health can see some issues and you have to look after it. All these things are there because see, Jupiter is still retrograde. It will go direct from 11th of March, and then once Jupiter comes into the 5th house, it is a much prudent time for you. You will take better decisions. Prudent, pragmatic decisions will come your way. But Jupiter and Kendra is trying to change something, and this is happening in the Moksha Trikon for you. Because Rahu is in the 12th, Jupiter is aspecting this conjunction from the 4th house. So expenses can be high, unnecessary expenses. Other people's hospitalization, you have to send money for that. Maybe your father. The 9th lord going into the 12th house. You know, be very careful about where you are putting your finances. At this moment of time, other than silver and gold, I do not see any place where somebody can put their finances into. Market will go up and down. It will continue like that this whole year. Sudden jump, sudden low. So, and your health and your mental well-being is very important, because do not forget that Saturn is on the Lagna, and the 8th lord joins, 3rd and the 8th lord Venus joins the Lagna with Saturn in the month of March. Be very careful this month, Pisces ascendant. For all the signs, if you go through, if you have any friend or if you're looking into any other signs of this video, I have always told past 2 months that February, March, April are very intense months, and these are not easy times at all that we are. So having said that, the intensity is trying to reach its climax point with the March month. That's why this month is very for some it will be a make and break. Definitely money can be unnecessarily wasted. Health should be a big precaution. Your well-being is important. In foreign lands, do not land up in unnecessary triggers, because that is what is happening all over the world now, wherever you are. A change of job, change of things like that can definitely happen. Let Jupiter become direct. The Lagna Lord and the 10th Lord has to get direct. Then things will move a little faster ahead. But again, Mars will come on your Lagna with Saturn. Again, it's not easy. So all these scenarios, they come up to a point. But if suppose somebody is waiting for a job to happen, that can also happen in the foreign land. It is one of the good things. You can get a permanent settlement if you're waiting for that. That can also happen. So these things can also happen at this moment of time. And for you Pisces, I will say that it's not at all the easy when Saturn is on the Lagna and combined with Venus now, which is the 3rd lord. You're putting in effort, and the 8th lord, suddenness with the 8th lord is very much seen. Sudden situation changing, and you have to adapt to it. That is the 8th house. It's a black hole, right? The 8th lord, wherever it goes, it can suddenly disrupt the things. So understanding all these things, be careful with the things that you do. Maybe your dasha is very good and you are going through a nice, more or less good time. Do not unnecessarily disturb that state of, subtleness that you have. Let me do something. Not required. If you are in a calmer state and you feel, sometimes there are people come, I want to change the job. Why now? when the situation is not at all good? Why you want to change? Because you want some little extra money. No, it's not required. Let it remain status quo. Let Jupiter come into exaltation. You'll get the idea what to do. As of now, maintain a status quo. That is very important for Pisces people. So this was my analysis of the March month and the Mars Rahu conjunction that is happening. Hope it helped you in some way. Very important month. Steps should be taken very cautiously and be calm, and so that we can get into a better time ahead. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.